Five Out Basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
The playoffs are still going on, and like we did for the regular season, we got to talk about some playoffs over and underperformers. Who's doing well, who's doing horrendous, who needs praise, who needs to be crapped on. Everton, I know we like to hate on this podcast. It's something we're really good at. But do you want to start hating or do you want to start positive? How are we feeling?
Let's start off positive because it has been a nice playoffs, like low
Yeah.
key. Like this is one of the most exciting ones I've seen. So let's start positive just off
I
that.
like that. I like that. Give me a player.
Okay, I'm gonna get the obvious one out the way. Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't argue against a dude averaging 36, 4, and 8. I know the percentages might be like, but like he's still a guard, so they have a little bit of leeway. And then also two things. One, when it becomes his efficiency, if you take out like because those first two games against the Sixers were like
Yeah.
a little horrendous. But
Uh-huh.
outside of that, like it's been pretty like solid. But what was it? 4 straight 40-point games? Dude, I mean, like I expected him to go off, but it's insane what we're
Yeah.
seeing from Jalen Brunson, bro. Like all
And
around,
he
bro.
probably would have gotten 40 again against Indiana if he didn't get injured and missed like 2 quarters. Because he
Exactly. And
still finished like in the 20s, I think.
he's still clutched up.
Yeah.
So he's been incredible. Like the Knicks' whole offense is just, hey, Jalen Brunson, you figure it out, bro. And
Yeah.
we'll just play defense. That's literally all they've been doing, damn near. But yeah, I think he's an easy like overperformer. Like his regular season numbers were actually really good. Don't
Yeah.
get it twisted, but this is just insane work. Like putting up 36 and 8 assists, you got it, bro.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'll hype up Luca for it, but they say nothing for Jalen Brunson about it. It's the world we live in.
Yeah, you know how it goes,
Yeah.
bro. You know how it goes.
But for my overperformer, I had a different Nick player because Josh Hart, I said
Mm.
last week that I think he might be the best role player in the NBA. He's about to crack the role player barrier. Like he's doing incredible numbers. Like in the regular season, he averaged 9.4 and now he's at 18. And now 12 rebounds a game as someone who's 6'4". Oh my God, incredible. And with all this like shooting, like he's getting more buckets, but his efficiency's skyrocketed, like 31 in the regular season from three, and now it's 43.9. Like he's just been so efficient with the ball because like teams really thought like, oh, well, let's guard up Jalen Brunson and then we'll leave Josh Hart open. Like surely that will work. It did not work at all. And so he's been able to eat, and he's the reason that the Knicks have been able to be so successful because he's incredibly defensive, like on the defensive side of the ball, unreal hustle this whole playoffs, and just vibes. I think he might have the most vibes in the playoffs in the moment because he's always getting in with the crowd, and then the comedy said to Reggie Miller was like actually
That
the
was
fun.
so funny.
I know Adam Silver had the biggest smile on his face, like, oh, I can't wait to find you for this one.
Bro, I mean, yeah, that's probably 50K that just ran his pockets, but it's
Yeah,
okay. That's chump change to these dudes.
yeah,
But
exactly.
Josh Hart, man, like I remember watching that. Ooh, it was a game 2 against the Sixers. I don't
When
remember
he hit like
exactly.
5 straight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Was that game 2?
it was.
Yeah. I remember sitting there and I'm like, I remember it kept popping up. He's like 0 for 5. But like he hadn't really made a shot like most of the game. Then literally out of nowhere, bro just started making everything. I was like, yeah,
Mm.
okay. And he's just been like, I know it's corny and I heard somebody say this, but like his last name really does mean something. Like Hart,
Mm.
like he got heart, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And the rebounding. I know he's always been like an exceptional like rebounding guard, but
Uh,
dude, like to be able to have a guy like that at your what does he play? The 2, 3, right? The three,
yeah, the three
grabbing
because
boards
Dante's the
like
two. Yeah.
yeah, right? Grabbing boards like that, and then you have Hardenstein,
Mm.
Precious, Robinson, like their rebounding has been so like there's so many times I watch the Knicks and it's like offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive
Mm.
rebound. I'm like, dude, these guys just getting hella boards right now, bro.
Yeah. We gotta love the Tibbs system because if you're not there to hustle, you're just gonna sit on the bench. But
Pretty much.
yeah, it's just he might be leading the playoffs in rebounds per game. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably lying, but like
Hmm.
12's a high number,
Yeah,
so
it's
he's
a high
definitely up
number.
there.
He has to be like top 5 or top 10
Mm.
easily.
And just when you get that from a guard, as Everton said, it's just huge. But Everton, as I quickly have to respond to a mom text message, let's get some hating in. So tell me who you want to hate on.
Okay, I'm gonna also get the obvious one out the way. Jason Tatum.
Yeah, yeah, that
Now,
that was my number one.
because like, okay, here's the thing, right? he's been lucky in a way where like the Celtics are just super good, like really good as a
Yeah.
team, to where it's like it doesn't even matter how bad he's been, they're still gonna probably blow teams out.
Yeah.
Ironically, they got blown out last night, but like,
Uh-huh.
you know,
The Celtics got to
um,
suffer their dumb loss.
they
It
do.
just
Yeah,
it just has to happen.
it's inevitable. That's why I never pick a sweep for these dudes. I
Yeah.
never pick a sweep. It's always, there's gonna be that one game, and it's always that
Nice.
one game, bro. I'm just telling you.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, for reference, Tatum's averaging 22, 10, and 5, which without the efficiency isn't the worst numbers, but when you put into account he's shooting 41, 27, 82, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
as a
okay, here,
top 5 player in the league.
arguably.
Yeah, a top 5 player in the league has pretty much been the third best player on his team.
Yeah, Jalen Brown, and
And Derek
Derek
White.
White have easily outplayed him. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But yeah, Tatum's just been like he's getting by because of the two guys we just named who have
Mhm.
been picking up his slack. But I'm gonna say this right now. When they have to go up against the Knicks or like OKC, Minnesota, or even Denver, I know people are like done with Denver for some
Uh-huh.
odd reason. Like, okay, guys, I know they're down 0-2, but this is
Mm.
still the Denver Nuggets. Let's not,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But when they go up against teams like those, Tatum can't be playing like this, bro. He
not at
can't.
all.
Like, he just can't do that. So, Timberwolves with the defense we've been seeing, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but
Yeah.
like you can't. He cannot be stinking it up like this. So I'm gonna let him get by for a little bit because they're playing some competition right now. But
Mm.
when you see them big dogs, if you playing like this,
Mm.
nah, man.
Conversations are going to be had, especially with the type of play Anthony Edwards is having right now. Like
Right?
some discourse could be happening this offseason. Like if Anthony Edwards gets his ring before Tatum, we're gonna have
He's
some serious talks.
always gonna get uncomfortable. It's gonna
Yeah.
get real
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
no. It's just like Tatum is very lucky to have one of the best teams in the NBA currently, like just build wise. So like he's just a little too content. He's like, yeah, I don't need to go all in every night, but if you want to be a top 5 player, it's just inexcusable. It's just
Yeah.
how it ends up. So he's just gotta I know he obviously wants to win, don't get me wrong, but he just gotta want it more. He's gotta stop being so content. He's gotta be willing to get these shots up and get them in because 26% from three when you already hate driving is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I will give him this. While he's not making his shots, he is doing a decent job doing the other things though. Because like
Mhm.
10 boards, that's good.
Yeah,
Like for a guy who on average probably gets around like 7 or 8, for him to be able to up it to 10, I will give
Mhm.
him credit for that. Just like, all right, cool. I'm not making nothing. Let me go get some rebounds. And then
Mhm.
even his passing, even though his assists are at 5, we obviously know that doesn't always tell the full story.
Of course.
So I'll give him the fact that his other things outside of scoring have actually been like good. It's
Mhm.
just spade is spade. They need you to be able to make them shots. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it comes back to him being able to score the ball.
Yeah, because with all due respect, Jason Tatum, you're not getting this money to be Josh Hart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're here to be
Exactly.
the guy, so let's step it up. But to go
Yeah.
back some over performers, we said the name, but Derek White has just been unreal this playoff. So being arguably the best guy on the Celtics, we gotta talk about him, man. Like
Mm.
he's averaging 21 on 54% from the field and 45% from three. All massive upgrades from what he did in from the regular season, and the defensive effort's still there. Like he's still clamping up whenever he needs to. It's just sometimes
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell's gonna go sicko mode, and you can't really do much about that.
Hey.
But Derek White, just because it's so hard. Like I know Josh Hart talked about this before, whereas like one time Brunson was out, I forgot which regular season game it was, and Tibbs told him he had to be the lead scorer, and Josh Hart was like, "Yeah, I thought I was gonna have like a heart attack after the game. Like I was so gassed." So the fact that Derek White is still hooping on the offensive side of the ball and still giving you 150% on the defensive side of the ball, it says so much about his cardio and just how much he wants to win. It's just been incredible, and he's really him and Brown have been the saving grace for the Celtics.
Yeah. Derek White. Derek White's the reason why Josh Hart's not the clear best role player. Like, if we're being
Yeah.
honest, like the
Mm.
existence of Derek White is the only reason why we're like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, don't let
Because
my boy TJ McConnell in this conversation now.
hey, TJ McConnell, hey, I saw did he have a double-double?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've always been hey, you know what? I'll leave TJ alone. But I do love my boy TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
Um, but Derek White, like he's been able to step up wherever the Celtics need him. If it's a game where he doesn't need to score, all right, cool. I'm gonna go get 2 steals and 2 blocks and get some like 4 assists or 5 assists.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tatum's not hooping tonight. All right, I'll go for 28. Like he literally fills in whenever they need whatever they need, he fills in wherever that
Yeah.
like wherever is needed. So Derek White, man, like I'm not surprised to be honest, because looking back, since he's been on the Celtics, the past like two playoff runs, you looking at the numbers, Derek White been like doing his thing.
Hmm.
Like maybe not to this level, but like I remember even against the Heat last year.
Yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't for Derek White, them dudes probably would have got swept,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? So Derek White, I'm glad he's getting his flowers, and he's just been flat out, no
Mhm.
disrespect, the Celtics best player. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Yeah,
it
it's
has to be
real.
Derek White. It has to be
It
Derek
has
White.
to be. And it's just, I just really wish he was an all-star so we can stop this the Celtics discourse of they don't have a super team. I'm surprised I
Yeah,
forgot to bring that up for the Jason Tatum conversation.
because realistically, they got like five All-Stars, bro.
Yeah.
Like
But dude, they only have
realistically.
two and they're going against like some award winners. Like they don't have a super team.
Like,
This might just say a lot about Jason Tatum's mentality. It's making me a little nervous.
hey, it's gonna get uncomfortable, man. Just that's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. It's gonna get real uncomfortable.
Yeah. We're gonna have some great content coming up this offseason, depending on how the playoffs keeps playing off this way.
Okay,
Uh,
so
I want to go back to hating.
okay.
I have one more player that needs to be hated on.
I want to see if you're gonna have the same person. I have one more over, but I want to see if you have the same under as me. So go ahead.
It's here. Let's say on the count of three, because I know we're going to say the same name.
Okay.
On three, two, one, go.
Okay.
Three, two, one, go. Jamal
Brandon
Murray.
Ingram. Oh,
Really?
have you seen how bad Brandon Ingram's numbers are?
Have you seen how bad Jamal Murray's
I
numbers
mean,
are?
true. Jamal Murray was also
We
another
having
guy
a
I was
mid off.
considering. Yeah, I know we are. Okay. The only reason why I wasn't sure is because Jamal Murray has been kind of like hobbled.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't pick a guy like Luca because he's been hobbled.
Uh,
So I was like, I'll give them a little bit. But like, okay, if you do you know what Ingram's numbers are?
I do not inform me.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you this. Brandon Ingram, keep in mind, Zion didn't play this playoffs. So this
Yeah.
is your number one option. 14 points,
Oh gosh.
4 rebounds,
Uh,
3 assists on 34%, 25%,
oh my God.
89%.
Brandon Ingram, you are an Atlanta Hawk.
Thank you.
Oh my
Bro.
God.
See, here's the thing, right? When I was doing research for this, I was thinking Jamal Murray, but I'm like, he's been hobbled. Maybe I'll look for somebody else. And I remember looking, okay, I remember Brandon Ingram not having the best series. So I'm like, okay, let me go look at Brandon Ingram's numbers. And I was like,
Mhm.
I knew bro wasn't doing that good, but this is bad. Like
That's awful.
bad. Like
That's
I,
Tobias Harris numbers.
exactly. And then here's the thing, right? All I can think to myself is this was supposed to be their number one option. Like
Uh-huh.
Zion's not playing. This is supposed to be the dude who's supposed to step up. Not only did he drop to 14 points, but he shot 34-20.
Oh my
You
God.
can't do that. Like you just can't do that. Like
Mm.
maybe I'm just not giving my own team enough credit defensively, but
Yeah.
like, dude, I didn't expect them to be that
Yeah.
bad. So I had to pick Brandon Ingram just off of that, bro. Those numbers were terrible.
It's crazy what Lou Dort can do to a man.
Hey, the door to chamber,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, he's been putting in the work. We see what he's doing to Luca as well, but man, I did not realize Brandon Ingram's numbers were that like stinky. Like that's
Dude,
awful. Like
dude.
Trey Murphy, congratulations, you have snatched a chain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That chain is snatched, bro.
Mhm.
Because whoo, boy.
Yeah. It makes me wonder what Brandon Ingram's trade value is even going to be this offseason because he got one more year to that contract expires.
Hey,
He might be a Washington Wizard at this rate.
oh, don't wish that on him. Oh my
But
goodness.
let's go to the other player, Jamal Murray. My thoughts on
Mm,
this, like no one's gonna be 100% healthy at this point in the season. So like you're
true.
just gonna have to hoop. It's like I as an MMA fan, I get so pissed off whenever a fighter loses. Like, oh, I came to this fight injured. It's just the game we're in. Like, stop making like all these excuses. And like, I get you have a little bit injured, but like, not even including the Timberwolves series. This includes the Lakers series as well. If your field goal percentage gets 11% worse and your 3 point
Ooh,
percentage cuts in half from 42 to 28,
okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
conversations are going to need to be made because
Mm,
like I get like I can't support being trash. It's like I can't give them like the Timberwolves excuse, but like for these also being your numbers to the Lakers series, that's horrifying.
mm,
Especially like when your gimmick is I'm the playoff riser and I don't need to try in the regular season. You can't fall in
yeah,
the playoffs because then what are you? You're just the floor. The
yeah,
ceiling's the floor at that rate.
that's facts. That's a
Yeah.
great, yeah, that's
Yeah,
facts.
and like you're supposed to be the second star next to Jokic, and like you've just not been there. But the
Mm,
Timberwolves, they've been playing incredible defense, so like I kind of get it. But yeah, Jamal Murray, the shots just not been there, the
no,
passing hasn't been there, the creativity isn't there, and I'm worried. I am worried for
honestly,
the Denver
he's
Nuggets.
he's been lucky that in that Lakers series, he was able to come up big, like late game, pretty much
Mhm.
every game.
Oh, that saved
Like
his legacy.
that saved him because them 2 game winners, people are gonna remember that, but they're not gonna look back and be like, damn, he was kind of bad before we got to this point, you know?
Uh-huh.
But of course, hey, that's how history works, you know. Because we're gonna click on a highlight comp and we're gonna see both of those game winners. And be
Uh-huh.
like, damn, bro, he hit 2 of them. And
Yeah.
somebody's gonna be a hater, like, bro, he was trash before that happened, bro. If you didn't know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna make I'm
And
gonna make a statistic highlight reel just so I can like link it in the comments.
bro, like, no, genuinely though, like I said, I considered him too. I just gave him the benefit of the doubt because one, at least his team won the series.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
1, 2. He hit 2 game winners, which I can't just gloss over. That's still
Mm.
impressive. And he came up big when it mattered.
Yeah.
And then 3, he has been a little hobbled. But I understand those numbers are bad.
Mm.
And I like your point of like, well, I'm Mr. I don't try in the regular season. I play
Yeah.
good in the playoffs. You can't drop in the playoffs if that's your
Yeah.
whole thing. You know? It would be different
Exactly.
if he was great in the regular season and then dropped in the playoffs. Like, well, okay, that's just your thing. But
Uh-huh.
you got to pick one, buddy.
Yeah.
Either you
Pick a
try,
struggle.
pick a struggle. Either you
Yeah.
try the whole season into the playoffs as well,
Mm.
or you're just, hey,
Yeah. So we're done with him. But let's talk before we go to some overperforming teams, let's go to some underperforming teams.
let me actually do my last overperforming player. This is
Oh,
a quick
so
one.
that's my fault. My
No,
fault.
no, 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 you good, bro. You trust, you good. I gotta give credit to Joel Embiid, bro. Like
Yeah.
genuinely,
That's real.
it's like we've been dogging on him. I've been dogging on him for years because it's
Mhm.
like, bro, you're just never gonna get it done. And then even this season, we were talking about like, well, it doesn't matter if he doesn't do it in the playoffs. I gotta give him credit. Bro probably shouldn't have even been playing. Like
Yeah.
literally, like his
Now that's someone
eye.
that like I'll give him credit for being hobbling because like he had maybe every injury in the world.
Yeah, literally, like he was. You could see it. Like you can see this dude is not healthy, and he still went out there and averaged 33, 11, and 6. Yeah, granted, the percentages are like, but like
Mhm.
again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt being hobbled and like just going out there and playing. Like the
Yeah.
difference between the other guys, right? Like Jason Tatum for me. I don't know about any injuries with Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
If you're just being you're just ass, then you're just ass. And then like Brandon Ingram's kind of the same thing. I remember he was coming back from injury, but
Mhm.
dude, I can't act like those numbers aren't atrocious. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they got swept, so that doesn't help it at all. But
Mhm.
Joel Embiid, like, granted, he Jalen Brunson had that series. Joel Embiid was probably the second best player in that series. I got
Mhm.
to give him credit for that. So shout out to him. I just wanted to shout him out for like we've been dogging on him, but I got to give
Yeah.
him credit when credit is due. He went out there and played, and all I got to do is respect it.
Yeah, but you didn't even bring up the most important part.
Oh,
He
what
was
is it?
playing with Tobias Harris, and he was still putting up a fight.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. I didn't put him on this list because I didn't even have expectations anyways.
It's still a
Like
waste of a time. He didn't underperform. We expected this.
we expected it, so there's no point in even talking about it. But me and you having the same amount of points as Tobias Harris, yeah,
Mhm.
that's all that needs to be said. You can
Yeah,
go ahead and go
and
over the two.
we were still shooting 100% from the field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tripping. That's
So
just inexcusable.
yeah, let's keep the hating going because Everton's wearing a really stupid shirt right now.
Yeah, I was hoping you call it out.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course I am. Milwaukee Bucks, talk about underperforming. Like I know you had some injuries, but like it was just kind of here's the thing, like what we said with Tobias Harris, I kind of felt that way for the Bucks. We're like,
Mhm,
were my expectations really there? But when you're a 3 seed, you can't really go out in that fashion. Like
mhm.
I know we still had some injury stuff, and like if we get to the point where like Patrick Beverly and Bobby Portis need to lead the team, it's just been bad. But I will give the Bucks some credit. I thought Doc Rivers actually made an adjustment and was trying to make the game physical. I never thought I'd say a Doc Rivers adjustment in my lifetime, but we did witness it. Yeah, and it's just shocking. Shocking. Like you think I'd get like struck by lightning 3 times before that happens.
Low key.
Yeah, but the Bucks is just you can't go out in that style of fashion, especially when it happened the year before. So
Mhm.
I'm nervous for the Bucks, and I just have to call it out how it is. It's just this is an underperforming team consistently now.
Yeah, I agree, but I can't dog on them too much because I literally picked the Pacers to beat them in 6. So,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I guess I can say I was right.
Hmm.
So that's why I didn't pick them as an underperforming team because, like, well, I mean, I kind of expected it, especially with the injury stuff.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, not only were you a 3 seed, first off, you being a 3 seed is probably underperforming, but
Yeah.
that's not playoffs, that's regular season.
Hmm.
But just all the hype this team had going into the season, which warranted because I believed in it too. I was like,
Yeah.
damn,
Oh,
Giannis.
I was in love.
I was like, yeah, this has to work. And this is a tough season for them, and the future is it's the future. It's
It,
definitely like,
it
you
might
know,
not even
like
be a future.
it's the time is gonna definitely move. Like we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna keep moving in terms of
Uh,
time, but I don't
yeah.
know where they're moving.
Mm,
They're stuck low key. So
yeah.
it's tough, you know. But yeah. So I guess I'll do my underperforming team,
Yeah. I think I know this one.
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. You have
Like
3 stars.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyways, I picked them because look, did I still pick the Timberwolves to beat them? Yes, but I thought this series was gonna go the distance,
Same here.
like 7 games. But here's the thing: one, we'll talk about them more later, but I low-key underestimated how good that team was,
Yeah. Yes,
but
I did.
like really did. And then with the Suns, wow, I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like getting swept though, like
Yeah, it's just the
I didn't
thing, like
expect them to get
the
swept,
Suns
bro.
and the Bucks are kind of the same scenario. Like after the trades, I'm like, oh, this is this going to be our finals matchup? And they both went out round one in like embarrassing fashion.
Embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, it's just
It's oh, go ahead.
that team was just built terribly. I'm so happy I have like somewhat basketball knowledge and could realize it wasn't going to work. But towards the end of the season, they really convinced me like, oh, this team could actually give the Timberwolves a fight. Like I think the Timberwolves are going to advance, but like the Suns won't go out in embarrassing fashion. The Suns
And
went out in embarrassing fashion.
they did. And this
Losses
is
of like
why
25,
oh yeah, go ahead.
17,
Damn.
12.
They was getting cooked.
Mm,
And here's a thing I also want to touch on. Um, this is why I always say the regular season records don't always mean anything.
mm,
Because for people who don't know, the Suns literally beat the Timberwolves, I think, 3 times, like 3 and
yeah.
0 in the regular season. And then what happened in the playoffs? They got swept. So
Mm,
something that a lot of that stuff doesn't really matter because when the playoffs tick on, who's gonna lock in, you know?
mm,
So again with the Suns, I know they just signed Mike Budenholzer to a 5 year.
mm.
So I guess he's their new coach. But if you
Are you
continue with
not
this,
moved?
like I'm not moved because like what realistically is gonna do to really help this roster? Because I don't think the issue was the coaching. I think the
Not at all.
roster makeup is the issue. But this front office clearly seems to be a bit delusional.
Uh,
So
it,
continue to be delusional. I don't care.
26, 28 other teams wish they had our team.
The one of the oh my, you know what?
One
Yeah,
of the
that was
comments of all time.
yeah, definitely. There was definitely a quote. That was
Yeah,
definitely a quote.
like they definitely spoke out loud and like it was
Like,
definitely put on some meme formats.
yeah, like he said that. He definitely
Yeah,
said that.
absolutely. But Everton, do you have an overperforming team?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it.
Orlando Magic. Oh shoot, hold on. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
nah. I love
Orlando
this.
Magic. I mean, I get it. They lost in 7, but honestly, for them to go the distance with the Cavs was already. I'm not gonna say a surprise, but that says more about the Cavs than it does the Magic
That's
because
a great take.
you know, because I feel like with the Cavs, it was like I just expect. I don't know what to. The Cavs are just. Never mind. But with the Magic, like, why pick them as an overperforming team? One, shout out Paulo, that man
Hmm.
who I thought maybe he'd struggle because Mobley and Jared Allen might do something. Nah, man, they
Yeah,
he was cooking. And then I know Franz had a terrible game 7, but he was
yeah.
good. The other like he, I think won them one of those games with like 34 points,
Hmm.
but he's still young. I'm not like done with Franz. And then like Jalen Suggs, like their young guys looked good in this series. And to be able to get 7 games against a team that we've said is perfect, like the Cavs, but also
Yeah,
imperfect, right? To be able to even get to 7 with them and even get so close to winning that game too. Like they were up at halftime.
yeah.
So I
It's
said
just
they're overperforming just because of that.
mm,
But again, they lost. So I
it,
can't do too much there.
it's just when you have a young team like this, inconsistencies are just bound to happen. Like Paulo would be, I mean, he was pretty much great, but there's still some moments like, oh, Paulo's not looking so great on the court, and like
Yeah.
Franz Wagner, the game 7 that will never be forgotten. But how can the Orlando Magic improve? Keep listening, you'll find out later in the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey, the LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.